it's Andrea from WellAndrea, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the good and the bad of exercise challenges. There are lots of exercise challenges out there, and they have been around for many, many years, and I actually have been doing quite a few exercise challenges myself. So, for example, I have started every January with 30 days of yoga for many years. I also belonged to a bar studio that had challenges several times throughout the year. I have done weightlifting challenges, cardio challenges, challenges at work, usually step-based challenges. So, get 10, 15, 20, 25,000 steps a day, things like that. And I do think that challenges can be helpful in getting you to exercise more, to get back to a practice you haven't done for a while, to really be more consistent, and maybe realize that you can actually work out more often than you have been doing. And for me, that was certainly true with the yoga challenge in January. Oftentimes, I like yoga, but it's something that sort of sometimes gets forgotten. And like right now, I haven't been doing yoga for quite some time. I mean, I do a little short practice once in a while, but I really haven't done consistent yoga as I would want to. And also when I, did other challenges, it definitely is motivating, right? So for example, if you have a weightlifting challenge and you set certain goals and, want to lift certain amount of weight or, other things, strength, whatever it is. And so I can definitely see the benefit in that. But in my own challenges and also in what I am observing from other people, challenges also come with certain dangers, I want to say. So for me, even something easy like a yoga challenge, it can actually get too much because, for example, when I add a moderate difficult yoga practice every day to my schedule for about 45 minutes, and I am already doing cardio and walking and running and weightlifting, those 40 minutes every single day can actually get too much. And it's the same thing that happened when I did a lot of bar challenges through the bar classes that I took. I was also doing a lot of other exercises at that time. And so it wasn't an everyday challenge, but it was a challenge where you got prizes if you took the most classes. And so people were very competitive. Only one class a day counted, but in that studio, there were actually people who were taking multiple classes a day, and so they for sure went every single day. They never missed a day, and so it's easy to get caught up in that. And again, for me at that time, I was doing other things, and so I think one of the big problems when you have an organized challenge that everybody is doing, in most cases, if it's done by a coach, if it's a personal trainer, whatever, we try to group people, right, in a group that's sort of has a very similar skill level and fitness level and all those things. But it's sort of impossible to really match people perfectly, right? Because we are just all very different, and again, everybody does sort of a little bit something different in addition to whatever the challenge entails. So, some people maybe doing a lot of running on the side, or they may take other classes. And so I think it can be very easily too much. And the challenge environment rewards us in some way, right? So when I did the bar challenge, there were prizes like you got socks or some clothing, or a gift card or whatever it was. The online challenges oftentimes are now on apps, right? And so you have winners, and there's always the little dopamine hit for the person that did the best that day or that week, or you get recognized, right? And it feels good. And I think one of the problems with challenges then is that people they push themselves past their limits sometimes. Because I think, especially if you have been the leader in your challenge for a while, and everybody admires you and everybody says, oh, you're doing so great, and it's really hard to let go of that. And I think the biggest problem with that is that the damage that you may be causing doesn't show up right away, right? You may just push yourselves beyond your limits every day, but it's maybe not bad enough that you actually injure yourself, right? But you don't really give yourself the recovery that you need, because if your challenge is really tough, even if it has a built-in recovery day once a week, you may need more, or if you were to really listen to your body, you would, if you weren't doing the challenge, you would scale it back a little, right? And you don't do this, and this can build up, and this does build up over weeks and weeks on end. So I have sort of mixed feelings about challenges. Again, I feel like they can be a great motivator. I think having people doing things together, if it is in real life or via an app or however, can be very motivating and can be really good. And it is good to push ourselves, a little beyond our limits once in a while. But I think the problem with challenges, as I've seen it myself and watching sort of other people, is that it can push you too far. And I just talked to someone who actually quit a challenge. It was a very intense challenge, and the person had been doing this for this was not the first challenge. She had been doing challenges with that same group before, and she had been really, really good at it and successful. And it's a challenge where you actually win prizes, actually really nice prizes. But it wasn't about the prizes for her, but it was really the recognition and everything. And she had sort of accumulated just little injuries and little signs of burnout, and it got really bad. And she actually had to really take quite some time off from really anything but walking and very light activity. So anyway, I'm not saying challenges are bad, and they work for many people and they can be very helpful, but I also think, evaluate things and don't blindly follow something, right? We have to push ourselves. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, but there comes a point when we do push ourselves too much, and then it's not good anymore. All right, have a great day. Keep moving, keep listening to your body. Bye now.